Hello folks, and welcome to the very first video on this YouTube channel. Today we're not only going to listen to music, we are also going to watch it, and that with the help of stereo spectrograms. Let's have a look. Here we are in a program called Minimeters. On the left we have this real-time spectrogram with the horizontal axis being the frequency axis. We have high frequencies to the right and low frequencies to the left, of course. And the vertical axis is the time axis with new data appearing down here. On the right we have this audio waveform preview, and we can go into the settings and change that. We can go, for example, to oscilloscope, and we can see that whistling creates one specific frequency or a perfect sine wave. And a vertical line appears in the spectrogram because the frequency didn't shift. And when I clap, on the other hand, you can see a vertical line appears because it's of a short duration and it has lots of frequencies in it. I can show you one other feature, and it's called the stereo meter. And since I only have one microphone attached, this arrow goes upwards. If I had stereo audio, then it might go in this direction or in this direction or anything in between. And let me quickly demonstrate that to you. I think this program is only missing one cool feature, and it would be to take this information, the stereo information, and put it directly into the spectrogram. You could do that by coloring the left channel, for example, in red, and the right channel, for example, in blue. And I did some research on the internet, and I couldn't find a program that did it the way I wanted. So I talked to ChatGPT, and we decided to make a Python code that would do this. And now I want to show you how my stereo spectrogram visualizes the test sound you just heard. Now let's have a look at the Python code. First, I have to say, without ChatGPT, I wouldn't have been able to do this. It suggested, for example, that I should use PyQt-Graph, which is a scientific graphics and GUI library for Python. You can see it is used to visualize data, and that's what we're doing. I should also add that ChatGPT helped me through the whole programming process. Here on the left we have Audacity opened, and you can see this selected waveform. It is approximately 2000 samples long, and I selected this area because my program also takes around 2000 samples and then computes what frequencies are in there. For example, we can see that this peak is repeating at a specific rate that would correspond to a certain frequency in the spectrogram. So the program then takes this FFT window and shifts it by 10% of its length to the right, or by around 205 samples. And then it draws a new line, and the process repeats, drawing more and more lines in the spectrogram. Why would you shift the FFT window only by 10%? This is called overlap, and it reduces artifacts, and it kinda gives you a better time resolution. I should say the window length determines what frequency resolution and what time resolution you have. So the longer the window, or the longer you listen to a sound, the more precisely you can say what frequencies are in there. But the longer you have to listen before you can draw a new line in the spectrogram, the worse your time resolution gets. So it's a compromise. Going down, we have the ability to import audio wave files. I recorded two nightingales having a conversation, and I took a stereo microphone and stood between them. And yeah, let me start the program, or let me compile the code. You can see sometimes they say the same thing. And finally, we are going to listen and also watch some music. Alright folks, that's it for today. I hope you found this video interesting. In the next video we are going to have a look at how you can run this code on your own PC, and I'll also share some GitHub code. And yeah, stay tuned and consider subscribing. Bye.